So I'm having a really hard time trying to figure out what my next big art project should be. Like, yeah, I draw every day. Today, for example, once again, I know you're not going to be able to see this very well, but or not at all. Working on a cutesy little Herschel drawing. I don't know. It's not doing much for me. The first one I did, the Rick one, or the parody Rick one, Happy Hunter, with him holding the zombie head and the gun. I thought that one came out good, and I like the style of it. And then I went on and I did the Daryl one, which I like the way it came out, but it moved from one style to another style. Not a lot, but enough that you could see it. And now that I'm doing this one, and I'm like halfway through with it, I'm looking at it going, it's not even like the first one. Like, I want some consistency, and I have a hard time with consistency when it comes to drawing. Like, I don't know how on a regular basis artists can draw comics and make the unmasked Batman, the Bruce Wayne, look exactly the same way every time. I'm not good at it. I know, like there's certain features you can pronounce, like a big chin, or with Wolverine, the nose with the big bend in it. That's kind of easy, but I don't know. I just have a tough time with it, and I've been really struggling with what I want to do next. I want to do definitely 7 new prints for Mysticon next year. If I get invited. I haven't been invited back yet, so I don't know if they've sent out the invitations. And a lot of that hinges on being able to get a dealer's table. If I can't get a dealer's table, I'm probably not going to go, because it's just not profitable for me to drive out there, rent a hotel room, feed myself for 2 days, and gas and all that. It's just not worth it. I mean, if I had a better product maybe, and more people were buying it, and I'm not saying I'm not thankful for the people who do buy the stuff that I create, but it's got to at least break even for me. I don't mind if I just break even. If I invest like $400 in the weekend to go out there, stay there, eat there, and get back, and then I only make $400, I'm fine with that. I have no problem with that. Like, it's a fun time, and it's something I don't get to do very often. I mean, I'd love to do it a lot more often, to be completely honest. Other cons and stuff like that. But I need to either make a name for myself, or start establishing a style or a product that I can produce regularly year after year that would have enough interest that it could garner a large group or a following, or a decent amount of people. I'm not asking to be the next Picasso here. Yeah, I am. I'd like to be. I'd like to have that kind of a reputation. But right now, I'm having a real tough time. Like, I know I want to do the prints for next year if I get invited. So I've been working on a lot of those, as you know, through the year. And Happy Hunter will be perfected and look beautiful. I'll probably do, another self-portrait somewhere in the snow somewhere. Or actually, we've done a fall one and a winter one. So I'll have to do a spring or a summer one. I don't know which one yet. But I've got 3 or 4 book ideas. Like, obviously, I want to go back to the Jalandriel series that I started, the Morning Star book. I've written... Let me show you if I can find it. Just wait. I don't know if you guys can still hear me over there or not, so I'm going to keep talking in hopes that you can. And if you can, great. And if you can't, well, then I'll fill you in as soon as I get back. Ah, here we go, yes. Well, there it is. Okay. This is the second book, Test of Faith. Last time I worked on this, first draft edits, 3/18/2010. I've got a complete notebook handwritten, and then I've got 100 pages typed. But now I gotta put it into the computer. And it's not as easy as doing this. So, I mean, obviously this is something that I've had people who bought the first book and did like it, they want me to do this. But I'm not thrilled with the first one, really. And I just don't know if I want to go back to it. Like, someday I will release that and the third book and just wrap it up. But I mean, I've got other fantasy books in mind. My Talon and Abram characters. I feel like I've got a really good story for that. And I've got... I don't like saying a lot on here. I guess it does kind of copyright it because it gives it a date, and I have the original file saying this, but I've had the story idea in mind for the rites of passage of a squirrel. And if you've ever been driving around, you see a squirrel come out on the road, and it starts going back and forth, back and forth. Which way is it going? Which way is it going? Do I stop? Do I go forward? Do I turn around? Do I go around it? You know what I mean? Like, you're left in this position where I personally don't want to hit the squirrel. I like animals. However, it messes you up as a driver. You're like, left, right, left, right. And I call this the stutter step. And this is the final stage in a squirrel's rite of passage to become a soldier or whatever this group of squirrels is. And so that's how the story starts, with this one really smart, has a lot of potential, this one squirrel, and head of his class, and he's trying to become whatever they become when they finally do their stutter step and survive. Anywho, it's just an idea I had when I saw a squirrel run out in front of me one day. I've got another kid's book of my own in mind that is really close to my heart, and I don't want to say anything about it just because I don't want to jinx myself. But I think the main character in it is really cool. I mean, it's not super duper original or anything, but I feel like it's a good kids book. And I see kids books, because I work in a bookstore, go by me day in and day out, and they're just terrible books, horribly written, horribly illustrated. So that's something I want to work on. Obviously, music-wise, I would love to at some point record everything I've ever written acoustically, just to have for me, my kids, family, friends, something to give away, not something to sell or try to distribute or try to have picked up by someone or anything like that. It's just something I would like to have, and I have a lot of recordings through the years of things that I've written, but I would like to have that personal kind of touch, just something I could go in, even if it's just myself recording it on my computer, like, that I can give it the feel that of these songs that I've always wanted. From every time I write a song, I start with my acoustic, and I write the song, and that's the baby of it. That's how it's born, and it always evolves. But I'd love to have those acoustic versions with some ambiance in the background, or even some other stringed instruments or keyboard, all kinds of stuff. So that's another project that I'm thinking about doing. But that's a huge commitment too. All of these are huge commitments. To write a book for me is start to finish. It can be anywhere from 6 months to a year, depending on the depth of the story. The squirrel story is probably a short story, and I could probably do a book of short stories and write that in 6 months easily, because I've got a lot of little ideas, and I think they're worth telling, these little stories and stuff. But then I've got 2 books that I did, that Mike, the guy that wrote the Worm book, that hopefully will be published some point, he's got 2 other ideas, but I just don't want to commit another 9 months of my life to illustrating a book that's not mine. Like, I need to do something for myself right now, and then get back to it. But right now, between this and drawing, I really don't want to do anything else. Like, today, like, for example, like, my band has to switch days. We used to practice Sunday mornings, 1 day a week, like 2-3 hours. That drives me crazy. I would love to be practicing 2-3 times a week, 3, 4, 5 hours at a time. Because I feel like there's a bunch of good songwriters in this band, and we've got great songs. But it's hard to commit myself to that when we're only practicing 2 times a week. And, like, I really want that to go somewhere. I want to play out more, and I don't know how to really stress that. I know we all have lives that we live, and I know we have, families that we have to do, take care of and stuff, but I have families I have to do. I'm gonna go do some families. But you can grab that phone. Yeah. You want to turn that the old AC back on in the house before I sweat to death? Was it Poe?
Yeah.
The big dog.
She always goes there with me at night when I put the kids to bed because she likes to lay with them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, real nice.
I'll be out in a few. So, like, I know it's tough when you're in a band, like, and I know, like, for example, the singer's got, it's kind of interesting. Our old guitarist had 2 boys and a girl. I have 2 boys and a girl. The singer has 2 boys and a girl. And then Matt, our bass player, he's got a girl, and our drummer has a boy, and has another one on the way, which I'm predicting is going to be another boy, and then they'll have a girl. But I understand, like from everybody's point of view, that they can't do the investment in time like when I was younger. I mean, when I played in Greyshine and Lunch Meat Circus and other bands, like, you know, that was the focus. Like, I didn't have kids through a lot of that time, so, you know, we'd practice 3-4 times a week for hours on end. And I feel like that helped me, because now that the band I'm in now, so the you know, Significant Others, like, we only practice once a week, but we are spot on with the writing, at least. And I think we're just, if we could just, like, invest like another 3 or 4 hours a week, like, I think we would all come to this realization that if we made a run at it, like, we could do something with it. I'm not saying, you know, we're gonna be the next Beatles, but I'm just saying that the songs are good. They're good songs. I enjoy playing them. I enjoy hearing them. I enjoy singing them, you know, and so that's another thing. So I've got my music and the band's music and these 3 or 4 book ideas I have in mind, and, like, just art beyond, you know, I really just need to be independently wealthy. I don't know how to do that. Like, artists, and I hate calling myself an artist. I mean, I think Mark Davis put something on Facebook today, maniacal, or what was it? Let me just go on Facebook for a second, because it was a perfect way to describe an artist. And it's often how I feel. And it was, you know, there's a circle here, they overlap, and in the middle it just said art. Come on. Oh, why does it ask me to save the browser every time? Stupid ass thing. Okay, let's see. Mark. This is funny. Like, Mark Davis is a really cool guy. I've only met him or hung out with him like 3 days in my entire life, and, like, I consider him, like, I mean, I don't consider him a close friend because I don't know him that well, but I consider him a friend. Okay. Carol was just sending a message. We had a friend who, I'm not going to get into it because I'm sure he doesn't want this information aired out there. Mark Hamill converses with himself. The Joker is Luke Skywalker's father. Wow. Okay, so let me see if I can find this thing. Okay, absolute narcissism, crippling self-doubt. Basically sums up art. And that made so much sense to me, like an incredible amount of sense to me, like, because I to a certain degree, and I can be very narcissistic, but I always feel like everything I do is terrible. Everything I create, I just feel like it's mediocre at best. And I'm sure some of the stuff I do is beyond mediocre, but I can never accept that. I can't accept that the things that I do create are worthwhile and worth listening to, or worth. But this music with the new band, I think the songs that we're writing, you know, we're all either almost 40 or 50, and so we've all been performing in bands our whole life. So to come together with, you know, I've got a library of songs that I bring in, and Matt, who our bass player is, we write together, kind of like, I'll bring my song in, he'll listen to it and be like, what if we do this here, this here? He'll bring a song and I'll be like, ooh, what do you think about this? And, like, because we've been writing independently for so long, that when you come together with somebody who's been writing music for 20, 30 years, you know, you get some really good stuff. And we're going in this new direction. Every time we play, I feel like we're moving in this direction. I can see it on the horizon, but we just don't play together enough. And it's A, depressing, and B, getting me to the point where I just don't know what to do. Like, I know it's only 2 hours a week right now, but I want to do more. And if I can't do more, I don't know what to do. I really don't. And I haven't really talked to the guys about this, so I don't want to say too much about it, but I want to know that we're going to move forward, because I mean, we play out once, we don't play out again for 6 months, and it's like I have people come up to me that like see us play, and they're like, hey, when are you guys playing again? You got any shows lined up? And I can never say yes. Yeah, we're playing this month, we're playing here, we're playing there. I want to be able to say that, like. And repeatedly over the last 2 years or so, it's like we play and then boom. And we get great feedback, but I'm not going to get on that for right now. But I'm just trying to tell you my conundrum of I can't decide what to do artistically these days. Like The Elderly Enforces, my comic book idea. It's like I need more of me. There's only one. But I gotta do one. I have to pick a project and I have to run with it, because nothing will get done unless I pick a project and run with it. So I guess priority would be, doing the prints again. But that's something I've done twice now. I've produced, 17 or 18 different prints and had them printed, and like I've got a bunch ready to go. But like I enjoy doing that a lot, so I shouldn't avoid not, doing it. But at the same time, I want to do new things. I want to write new books. I want to create different pieces of art. And it's like, I don't know what to do anymore. It's a struggle some days. And I'm tired of money. I'm tired of like everything coming down to money. Like, I see one thing in my life that I know for most certain. After the kids have grown and gotten married or moved away or hopefully still live close, I definitely want to downgrade. I want no bills. I want minimum bills. I just want to spend my days creating and part-time maybe making money off of it, so that I can just live to create, and eventually just die creating. Traveling would be nice too. But that requires money, and I just don't ever see a point in my life where anything that I create, unless I get really lucky, and I'm not a big firm believer in luck, that something's just gonna come my way. I'm gonna wrap this one up at 17 minutes and 34 seconds. So we'll call this my conundrum. I'm gonna go break out the acoustic, and I might play Merry Sunshine for you tonight. The funny thing about this song is it's a really simple song. It's not an amazing song. I've got recordings of it that I've done that, for example, I recorded myself playing off of like just an old mason jar and adding reverb and like chorus to it, and like that's my percussion, and it sounded really neat. And I have 3 guitar parts in it and so on and so forth. But the range in the song is too big for me. Like, the highs are too high, and the lows I can barely hit. I need to change the key on it somehow. So I'll come back and maybe I'll play it and see what you think. I'm going to play it through a few times, and if it comes out sounding okay for me, then I'll play it for you. And if not, then I will see you tomorrow night. I screwed up. This is episode 78. Last night was 77. And so tomorrow night we'll do 79. I know tonight was supposed to be my first Save Your Soul Sunday, but I just have I didn't practice this morning. We had to reschedule because our singer's son graduated from high school today. So I have no real stories. Normally I would listen to the radio, probably NPR or something on Sunday mornings. I like NPR. Wait, don't tell me. And there's always, I mean, when you live in Lynchburg, any station you listen to, like literally 7 out of 10 stations are Christian stations. So I can usually pick up on a conversation or a topic. Actually, I did listen to a little bit today, but nothing really just grabbed me to the point where I was like, oh, I want to talk about that tonight. So if you guys are liking these like I love them, please subscribe, pass them along to people via Facebook, email, Instagram, Pinterest, whatever. I'm trying to get this thing going, and I'd like to get a significant following so that I can maybe move forward with this. The vodcast will be coming next year, and depending on how well this is going by that point, I don't know if I'm going to do once a week or every night like I'm doing them now. I think we'll probably end up cutting back, but Anywho, that's a story for another day. You guys have a great night. Don't forget to make somebody smile tomorrow. Do your best to make somebody smile tomorrow. And do your best to make yourself a little bit better of a person tomorrow. Improve on something that you've been trying to better yourself at. You know, just take a look at yourself in the mirror and go, what don't I like about me? What do I need to change? What do I need to do to make myself happier? Because we need to make this world spin a little happier together. We really do. And so you guys have a great night. Here's to a few more awesome tomorrows. And I'll catch you a little further down the road. All right? Thanks for coming by, always. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. And we got some big things coming ahead. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow night on the road to 40.